Lewisville coach Mike McCray. So about 18 hours after we started this game, we finished it today in an empty gym, of course. How did you think that your team handled both the odd atmosphere of having no fans because we had a closed gym because of the fights that broke out in the stands last night, and the long break between, you're toward the end of the second quarter last night, and you just have to stop and you come back and pick back up? Did you think they handled all that pretty well?
Yes, I think they did. I don't think the playing at 2 o'clock today impact us in a negative aspect. I think we came out ready to perform, but we had some late breakdowns at the end of the game that ultimately caused us the game.
You were behind most of the way, then you actually took a lead in the fourth quarter, and we're doing a really good job of turning them over. I think they had 6 turnovers and 7 possessions in one stretch. You rebounded the ball really well, and then things kind of flipped, and the turnover bug kind of bit y'all a little bit, it seemed like.
I think the changing of the game was when Sincere Wilmore hit the three-pointer when we had a miscommunication on the defensive end. But my guys know that he's a great shooter, and there's no way you should leave him that open. And that kind of that changed the rest of the game. I don't think we scored a basket after that. It was when he hit that shot, it made it 45-45, and I can't really remember us scoring after that.
For a while there, it looked like you kind of had them right where you wanted them because you had a lead. You kind of went 4 corners a little bit and chewed up over a minute off the clock at one point when you had that 5-point lead. But then you had to flip strategy because suddenly they hit a couple of free throws at that 3, and they're right back in it.
At the time, I want to say we were up 5 points, and I decided to say, well, we didn't want to run any more zone offense for the rest of the night. We were trying to actually force them to come out and guard us man-to-man. But we had poor management at the end of the game of basketball. We had some mishaps on some passes, which actually just changed the whole concept of the game.
All right, with Great Falls coach Jimmy Duncan, his team comes up with a 53-45 win over Lewisville today. Typical high school game that starts at 8 o'clock on Friday night and ends Saturday afternoon around 3.
Yeah, I think that's normal for everybody, right?
Yeah. Because of what happened last night with the incidents that happened in the stands, really didn't have anything to do with the teams on the floor, but that caused the game to be stopped and moved to today. Played in an empty gym, so your guys had a long break in the middle of the game and then had to play in a quiet gymnasium with no fans. Did you think they handled the odd atmosphere and circumstances well?
Yeah, I think it took a couple minutes to kind of get acclimated to 0 fans and just me screaming. But once the game flow started going, they just got right into the game, and I think it was good for both teams.
You led most of the way, and then the turnover bug bit you a little bit, and not all of them were forced. I mean, a couple of errant passes. They took advantage, and they surged ahead and took a lead, and then kind of went 4 corners and were just milking the clock on you.
Right.
But from that point on, I mean, you guys, I don't think they scored again. I think they were up 45-40. And you guys closed on, I think, a 13-0 run. So what was the difference?
Yeah, so their pressure was getting to our guys a little bit, and we started turning the ball, and they were converting. They got up 5, like you said, and we had to come out man-to-man. It took about 40 seconds for all of us to get on the same page, but once we got there, our man-to-man was holding pretty good, and we were able to convert on some turnovers that they had.
I thought that Sincere Wilmore's three-pointer that tied the game at 45-45, that seemed like a real momentum shifter.
Yeah, no, absolutely. We started going offense, defense with DJ Adams and Sincere Wilmore, and got Sincere in. He squared up, knocked down a big-time shot. So that one definitely got us going, tied it up, and then I think we got a steal right after that and got another layup. So.
And also hit your free throws down the stretch, which was huge.
Yeah, so we got to the line, I think, 6 times during that stretch. I think we went 6 for 6. So that was, obviously, like you said, it was huge. And there was a technical foul, which got us the ball right back after the free throws.
I know you're kind of a one game at a time and kind of avoid the outside distractions, coach. But still, you break a 5-game losing streak to Lewisville. I'm sure that's pretty big for the players.
Right, yeah. The guys are always excited about winning, but always, they get a little more excited about beating Lewisville no matter what. Most of these guys haven't played against Lewisville. I mean, a couple of them have, like 4 that I have on there, but, you're talking about 8 people have never played them as far as varsity. So it was an exciting game. I wish the fans could have saw it. It was a great game, great finish.
And Kelton, Talford, and Tommy Belk, they did a really good job giving you a lot of second chance points, especially early on.
Yeah, they crash the boards extremely well. They got a good knack of finding the ball in the air. They're athletic, and they get off the ground fast. So with offensive boards, I mean, if you can win the glass, you can usually put yourself in a good spot to win the game.
And then lastly, this game's always big just because of the county rivalry aspect. But also, this keeps you, I guess, puts you in sole possession of second place in the region.
Yeah, it puts us in sole possession of second place, right behind McBee. McBee had I think a double overtime win last night, and so that puts us at 3-1 in the region in second.
But just in terms of the playoff races, this was a really big win.
It was definitely, because it puts Lewisville and Timminsville both with 2 losses, and us having the tiebreaker over them right now.